Along with John O'Gara, I've started Fisher Racing. Going into the off season this year, I kind of looked at all my options and evaluated sort of where I wanted to go and what my plans were big picture wise. And so the best option for me was to start my own team, because I think in the long run, that's a better plan for us and for myself going forward.
Well, in 2008, 2009, and 2010, really for us at the time was about survival and getting to the next race, getting to the next season. And now it's still about survival. Don't get me wrong, sponsorship is extremely challenging right now. But certainly, we are able to look towards a longer term, bigger picture design and scope of where our team is heading, instead of just, are we going to be able to get to that next race? The new facility is awesome. It is a piece that screams Wink Hartman. When we were talking to Wink about growing the team and taking it to the next level, we started looking at different facilities that were already out there, and moving to a space that we could own instead of just renting. And at the time, Speedway had started the development of Main Street, and he saw that and thought, wow, that would be something that we would love to be a part of. And I thought, wow, Wink, that's great, but that's a lot of investment. That's a big commitment to this sport. And he made that commitment for us. So, to be able to be the very first team on Main Street and to have access to our fans, to provide them a destination outside of the racetrack, is unheard of for our sport. And I'm glad to see that we're the first team to start that here in IndyCars. This sport is all about people, just like any other business. And so handpicking the right people to be at SFHR is a very important decision that we consider every day. It's not necessarily one of the biggest challenges. It's because it's ongoing that we continue to study who's here and who's out there, and as we continue to grow, who we would want to add. Wink has become such a great friend, first and foremost. Wink has been around. Him and his wife Libba came to the team when they saw the story in 2008 that we had sponsorship trouble, and he saw it on, I think, ESPN broadcast that we needed help. And he doesn't like people dumping on the American dream. So we've known him, the entire 5 years. He's been, was a sponsor prior to being an owner. And when we were told that we were going to have our major partner at the time move on and do a different form of racing, we went to Wink and said, hey, this is where we're at. This is where we could go. This is the potential and what we look forward to. And this was what our long-term plans would be. And he studied it for a little bit of time, and he'd become so passionate about the sport of IndyCar racing that he thought, hey kids, let's go. Let's really take this to the next level. I love the sport, I love the team, I love the culture that you've built. And as a part of that, I want to develop it into a bigger, better situation so that we can go win some races. Wink is a very, very tough businessman. He's been very successful off track. And for Andy and I and everyone at SFHR, we're racers. We love racing. That's all we've done our entire lives. And to have someone who's sort of from the outside looking in as a part of the inside workings of our team makes us think in a bigger picture terms, and makes us think in a capacity that's not always about making wheels go as fast as they can. So I think it's going to help us from a long-term stability standpoint. I think it already has, and some of the things that we've learned from him really have been able to help us grow this team. Joseph is a very smart kid, and I think he sets the bar much higher for himself personally than all of us would ever expect from him. But every star athlete does that in their own right. This season, what we would see coming from him is, at the end result, at the end of the day, is to follow through with the decisions that we make together as a team off track, is to just merely see that through on track. The biggest thing that I've learned is the capability to be able to completely trust and pass off responsibilities and duties to other members of the team, whether that's in the marketing department, the engineering department, the driving department, is to allow the individuals that we have, who we think so much of, to completely do the jobs themselves. And I think being able to do that has allowed us to win races and run up front.